Okay, good evening, students. I hope my screen is visible and I am perfectly audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Uh, I have started getting the assignments from your end. That's really good. I'm really impressed. Uh, but I think, people are doing it separately and then sending me. So I have just thought of if I can create a classroom, and within that, I'll just talk to Rahul regarding that, so that, it is all in one place. Because in the mail I might be like, after 2 or 3 these assignments I might lost a count, like, if 2 other mails come in between, so it might be an issue. So I'll check that with Rahul. Okay, so today but good that are you all doing this, practicing this reading thing, skim reading every day, at least one paragraph. This is a must. Come what may, you have to do this. So this is the first week, so I'm not pressurizing much, but from the next week, I would require you to send me daily, whether that's a newspaper article or the ones I'm sending you, whatever it is. I want a daily routine of what you have done the entire week. I would require that. This is the first week, so I'm not like, I'm just leaving it. I'm giving some space to you to get adjusted, because you all are involved in something else also. But then from next week, maybe I'll make things much more tighter. Okay. All right. So today we are going to go about the speaking section. So mostly I find most of my students, they falter in the speaking section, but this is also a section where you can, improve very fast. So reading, there is something that, you have to bring it into a practice, that, reading every day, making reading a habit of yours, daily, of your daily life. But speaking is not that. Speaking, if you are following some pattern, what happens if you, that set pattern, if you're following, and you are abiding the rules, what happens is you have a chance of getting a higher band score very quickly. Okay, so what are today we are going to, not only today and the next speaking class also, we'll be interacting with each other, and we'll get to know about there are the part 1 section of speaking. But thereafter, so how many, what are, yeah, so mostly today we'll deal with part 1 section of speaking, but for your information, there are three parts to it. So the entire test is, of the entire section rather, is last around 15 minutes or so, which includes you which doesn't include you greeting and entering the room, greeting the examiner, then excuse me, checking of ID, etc. That doesn't include, that is not included within that 15 minutes. 15 minutes is all through recorded speaking. You are speaking with the examiner, and that is all through the topics that you're going through. So 3 parts. One is the part 1 that we'll be dealing. It's more about you as an individual, your background, your likings, your not likings. These things include in part 1. Part 2 is more of a social context come into the picture, wherein you are being given a topic to speak about, and you just speak about that topic, as in your experience, your thoughts, and then comes few of the questions following that part. Okay, so we are not going to go in detail about the other parts today. It's just for your knowledge that there are 3 parts. Today we are going to deal with part 1, the easiest part. Why easiest? Because this is all about you as an individual. So what is part 1? Part 1 maximum is for 5 minutes, I would say. And unless and until the examiner really likes you, like she can't stop you, she wants to hear more of you, more about you, until unless that, it's at max 5 minutes. which includes all the parts of the question about you, your background, your likings, etc., etc. So what are the topics that you can come across, you can experience, what you will be coming across? It will include, first of all, they'll ask you maybe to introduce yourself and all. That's the first thing, very important. And then they'll pick up something within that introductory speech of yours, anything about you. Maybe you say speak some of your hobbies, so they pick up that. Maybe you hail from some other culture, so he or she might be interested in that, about your culture, about a particular art that is famous of your, from where you hail from, about study. If you say about study, maybe some of your hobbies that you have actually mentioned about that, education, it can be anything, but then it will be, it will be about you. All right. So now the first pointer when you are actually, so let us understand how it is scored. So the first thing that you're scored on is, of course, your fluency. Content, I would say, is not much of a relevance, but yes, content as in, of course, like they ask you about your hobby, maybe garden, you say your hobby is gardening, and they want to know more about that hobby of yours, and then you suddenly switch off from gardening to maybe dancing or something, and also, that switch thing shouldn't be there. Whatever is whatever is the topic, you should be within the topic range. So that is what you check, but not in very in depth about that is not checked. But yes, there is a part which is cohesion, so that is checked there. So fluency is one thing. Now fluency doesn't mean how fast you speak. Fluency means that right now, while I was explaining, what did I do? I stuttered in between. I stopped. I was like, I mean, so these stutterings shouldn't be there. These are the negative points. So if this was a test that I was, taking there, so it would have been that I would have scored less because I stuttered. So the fluency, I'll get less marks in fluency. So that is important. It's not about the speed, the pace at what you speak. Rather, it is the fluency, that how smoothly you're speaking. Your pace might be much lesser than mine, but it is that you shouldn't be stuttering. You shouldn't be, stammering in between. That is what is important. Again, once I'm mentioning the pace, I might be a fast speaker, but there are a few slow speakers also. So that is also okay. But then don't be that slow that the examiner on the other side gets confused that whether you have lost the stock of words, or is it that your pace is slow. So that should be maintained. Okay. Next is very important, pronunciation. That is what you will be scored on. So fluency, cohesion, pronunciation, and this is the least. But then if you don't make a major mistake, if you're not making a very major mistake, you are not penalized for this. I think I have started the recording. Is the session getting recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the final thing is grammar. But then you have a very less weightage there. There is a pointer, but a very less weightage compared to the others. So unless you're making a major, like you were talking about something at present, and then suddenly you are using, what should I say, a past, or, that is a past continuous, that doesn't hold good. So something that is not starkingly that is striking somebody's ear. Other than that, you have a low weightage for grammar, but then there's a point. So you will be scored in the speaking section in all these 4 categories. All right. So while we are doing this speaking section, I'll take this very seriously. Now, for me, this is the first priority. This is the second priority. Cohesion, that is how close you are with the content. This will come as in all you are doing a lot of reading. So this I keep aside because, okay, for part one, I won't be keeping it aside because part one is all about you. You know everything about yourself. But once we move on to the social context, part two and the part three part, there you need a lot of reading. You need a lot of content here. The raw material should be here. So that raw material comes as and when you are reading these articles. So, those serve as the raw material to you. But for the part one, that is all about you. You don't need that raw material. What you need is the tricks, like how to speak, what to speak, how much to speak, right? So for me, the first priority is fluency. Again, fluency doesn't mean how fast you speak. I want you not to stutter. If you feel that you're losing words, you're missing the words. So take time, from the previous sentence, you lower the speed, you take time, keep some filler sentences, not filler words. No, completely not acceptable. Some filler sentences, I'll teach that. What are the filler sentences? So those filler sentences will help you to take some time, give your brain some time. However, in these sections, you other than the part one session, part two, part three, when you're given a specific topic, you're given at least 1 minute time to frame those answers. So you get that time, to train your brain. What are the pointers you want to speak about? All right. So that's your fluency. Pronunciation is something we'll be working on. Every of the speaking classes, what I'll do is I'll take up a article and I'll ask you just read out that article. Reading out that article, I'll get to know who has a better pronunciation and whose pronunciation I have to work more on. All right, that is important. That is really important too, because you like it or not, howsoever you're good at writing, howsoever you have scored high on your IELTS, once you are landing on in their country, you move to their country, what happens, you speak to the first person and then you if your pronunciation is not right, that first impression goes down there. So pronunciation is really very, very important. You like it or not, it is very important, and we'll be working regularly on this. Pronunciation is something like reading. You cannot acquire the pronunciation in one day, because almost for 18 to 20 years you have followed some wrong pronunciation. That might be because of our mother tongue, because of our local the surrounding, the people, the colloquial language that we are used to, whatever it is. So we need to work on that. Even if I forget, if you see that from the next class, I'm not, in the speaking class, not today, we'll not be doing that. From the next speaking class, if by chance you see during the speaking class, I missed out in the reading, I ask you to read something. If I missed that section, do remind me. This is important. You cannot miss on the pronunciation. All right, so speaking section. So what did I say? First is all about you. So what we'll start with is today, first thing is introduce yourself. The most easiest one. We have been doing this a lot. You are into your masters. You might have by this time at least attended 1 or 2 interviews, whether those are university interview or job interview, whatever it is. So this is something you are used to. You are thorough with this answer. So what I want is each one of you to just once I would like you to come up and introduce yourself. And I'll tell you what is right, what is wrong, what more can be added to that. All right, so let us just start. Okay. So Aarti Nahar, can we start with you, or you need some?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay. So if others need some time, you take your time to frame your answers. Till then, if Aarti, you also need some time, take a minute or so, or if you want to start directly, we can start off. Do you need some time, Aarti?
Ma'am, can you give me some
Sure.
tips?
Just, yeah.
Like means, ma'am, what things I should include in it? Means which things I should talk about?
Anything. You just start, then I'll anyway frame the, section wise, I'll frame it. I just want to see first what is your thought. If you need at least a minute or so, take it, and then we'll just, one by one we'll start. If you just want to
Okay.
frame it.
Ma'am, please give me a minute.
Yeah, sure. All of you, take a minute, frame your answers. If you want, just jot down few points. What are you going to see one after the other? And I'm looking not do not follow what maybe if Aarti is speaking at first, don't try and follow her. Have your own style, because that time you'll get topics which you are hearing for the first time. Might be we'll practice a lot, but still. So I don't want that you stuttered that time. So have your own style. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Aarti Anil Nahar, and I am currently pursuing my master's, that is MTech in Pharmaceutical Technology, Biotechnology from Naipur, Mohali. I belong to Yavatmal, Maharashtra, and my father is a farmer, and my mother is a homemaker. And apart from study, I am a founder of one YouTube channel that is called Simple Pharma Basics, where I used to guide students regarding GPAT and NIPER exams. These exams are conducted to get into the programs into pharmacy. And apart from this, I do counseling to those students, so that they can prepare for their exams. And that's it.
Okay. That's really perfect. One thing is, Aarti, you were so fast that according to the stopwatch, you didn't even speak for 1 minute. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
that's a first learning, that in the speaking section, I cannot stop unless the examiner asks me to stop. This is the first point. Okay. So
Okay, ma'am.
I need to have that much data, that much content with me, wherein I do not stop. Because if you are stopping, that means it is an indication that the stock of words is finished. She doesn't have anything more to say. So the objective is keep speaking, continue your whatever you're talking about. You can add on, you can talk about more about your family, your, like, what do you aspire to be, or like you spoke about your hobby. That is, you might also speak about something more, like why you want to move on to their country, anything. It is like, it's just that about you, and they just want to check. They don't want to know about you. Their objective there is, they want to see how long you can speak, what is the stock that you're carrying with you. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is one thing. So okay, till the time Aarti Nahar, that others will be speaking, I would request you to again think of something more, the points that I have added. so that you at least can speak for at least 2 minutes about yourself. This is for everyone. Try and frame the whatever the answers, the contents, whatever it is, at least for 2 minutes. Because if it's for 2 minutes, what happens is maybe the examiner down the line will stop you and move on to the other question or something. But then the only thing that I want is you don't stop speaking. Let her or him stop you. That's very important. All right. So I'll switch the timer again for Pragati. Just a second. Yes, Pragati.
Hello, ma'am. I'm audible.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. My name is Pragati Kumar. You can call me by my first name, Pragati. Currently, I'm pursuing MS in Naipa Hajipur. It is a central government institute. My hometown is Saswat, which is in Pune, Maharashtra. My father was an army retired person. My mother is a housewife. My hobbies are I would like to making rangolis. It is an traditional Indian art. Which is making by color by using color on a flat surface on floor. Also, I would like to make dolls. It is by knitting. I would also like to read books such as novels, story books, and also playing like volleyball, badminton, and yeah, ma'am, that's it.
Okay, so that's 55 seconds. Still good. I like the way you started off speaking about the university you're studying, about your family, about your hobbies, explaining that hobby a little. Very good. But then you could have then spoke about your dream, the career you want to pursue, uh, why you are planning to move abroad, what is it, where do you see yourself in another 5 years. Maybe these questions anyway will come down later. The examiner might be asking this question anyway later. But what is my objective is my content should be at least a 2-minute content I should be having, so that the examiner is bound to stop you and move on to the other question, rather than you stopping and saying, okay, that's it, ma'am. No, that's not going to work. No, okay, that's it. No. If you think, you can bring in anything. You spoke so nicely about Rangoli. You could have connected this Rangoli thing with, like, this is the traditional art that is being done in each of the festivals, whether it is Diwali or normal Holi or Ganesh Puja, anything. This is something that we always, for all our festivals. So the thing is, you need to continue. You were going very well. You could have added a little more about your career, a little more about your hobby, a little more about your place that you wish to visit. So anything. All right. So, but good. The way you have spoke was good. But then, what did you say? Something. I would like to. What did you say? I would like to is something you're saying about the future. You aspire to be that, but then that was something that you do right now. I think the whatever you told was, what was it? I would like to doll making or something. I think that was something.
Ma'am, knitting,
Yeah,
knitting.
yeah, right, knitting. So it is not you'd like to means you haven't done it yet. You wish to. Okay, like I would be saying that, I would like to visit Las Vegas. I haven't been there, but I wish to. Right? But
Okay,
then
ma'am.
if you're already doing that, that is a part. So you say sometimes I am involved. In my leisure time I do knitting. I something more. I have knitted clothes for my dolls, and I also knit some of my own designer clothes. So anything like that. Okay, so it is like whatever, these grammars are important. I was telling you that grammar is not important in a sense. This is something that is going to strike me. I would like to, what like to? She's talking about the present, but then she's saying I would like to. So these are the things where you'll be, scoring less, because this is a starkingly different. I would like to is about the future. You're talking about the present, whatever you're doing as a hobby. So this mistake cannot be accepted. Clear?
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
why I told you frame the answer. So obviously framing the answer means jotting down in your brain, and during that time it's not possible to check the grammar part, but still that should be a practice from our end. Similarly, I think Aarti Nahar, you also told something. I belong to what was that sentence you said? I forgot to mention. I belong to something you told. So
Yes, ma'am.
don't belong to, you belong from. Like, okay, I hail
Yes,
from
ma'am.
this place, because that was a place you told, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are the things, these are starkingly, you spoke so well, but this will give a spotlight. Okay, that's a mistake, and the examiner is there sitting there to reduce the band. So you spoke so well, you could have gone to a band 7.5, but because of this grammatical error, what will be, the weightage will fall there. Okay, so that's good. I hope now we are getting a grasp of it. So
Ma'am,
yeah.
that day when I talked to you about grammar, you
Mhm.
said that you will share some study material for
Yes,
grammar.
yes. I'll do that. Just remind me tomorrow once in the morning. Just ping me once. I'll share the material. I had
Okay, ma'am.
prepared it completely, but I forgot to share it. Just remind me once. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Aarti Lasure, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay, so hello everyone.
Hmm.
Good evening. I'm Aarti Lasure from Pune, Maharashtra. Currently, I'm pursuing MS Biotechnology in Naipur Hajipur. I have got Naipur Hajipur because of on the basis of my rank, I got it. Um, After that, I would like to pursue a PhD in USA or abroad, just simply. Uh, Aside from my professional life, uh, or apart from my professional life, I like to tell my about my hobbies. I like drawing. Uh, as I do drawing sometimes whenever I get time, I do I draw some sketches. Uh, and somehow I connected to nature. I add some flowers or anything related to nature into my drawings. And this is the first hobby I do like more. And second one is singing. So whenever I get time, I sing and I record it. Um, Apart from that, I would like to tell about my dreams. I like to do a PhD in abroad because I want to visit places which are there in the abroad. Uh, some examples like Tokyo. I like cherry blossoms more, so I wish I have the wish that I would visit there once. Okay, so that's
Okay,
from
that's
my
good.
end.
That's good, Aarti. You have spoken for more than almost 2 minutes, so that's good. Um, so this is what I was saying, that okay, the only point I would say, Aarti, you took time, the pace was very good, which helped you to reach that 2 minute mark. But what is that? That stuttering is something that is not acceptable. You're not supposed to stutter at all. Just a second. My screen is not shared.
Ma'am, it was visible before.
Okay, I was getting a message of new share. Hmm, just a second. Yeah. Now is it?
Yes, ma'am, now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So, Aarti, let's that the point is that stuttering is something you lose a lot of point. Okay. So this is okay. This is the first class we are doing it. So, you have to jot, combine all your thoughts and all. I understand. It's a very less time. So first time I can't expect it to be perfect, but it's good. You have covered everything. Uh, and one more thing I would say, if you think like you were like aside from this, then you changed it to apart from this. So it's the best that you can make it correct as the at the first go. Or if you've already made that mistake, I would say that before, I'll teach that how to do that, but then before directly going back and repeating the sentence, you can see that aside from, rather apart from, I would say. So it is like, that means that that flow is not missed. When you see aside from my studies, then you realize that no, that was a wrong English I used. Then you say apart from my studies. So this will mark the examiner. Maybe he or she didn't pay an attention also to the mistake you made. But then what happens there is that once you're going back, you're underlining the part that yes, I made a mistake. So a better way, I'm not saying that continue with the wrong English. No, since you've realized you've done it wrong, a better way of correcting yourself will be aside from, then you realize aside from my job, rather apart from the job that I'm, rather apart from the study that I'm already into, I wish to pursue. So then what happens? That's a smooth transition. Whoever is examiner understands that you have made a mistake, but then also finds that you are very nicely making a small change and then moving ahead. So this is the difference with a higher and a lower band. How smooth transitions you're making, how smoothly you're making a transitions and taking time, keeping that pace and continuing with your content. Okay, so this we all should keep in mind. This will happen that you will make a mistake, maybe because that's the first time, and you are anxious, you're nervous. The high chances that you'll be making one or two errors. Very consciously you'll make that, and you'll realize that at that moment only. But the smarter way is do not go back and repeat the sentence. Take use a word to just shift that and turn it to the right English very smoothly. Am I making sense in this? Did everybody understand what I meant?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is a practice. This requires practice, and we will do that. We will do a lot of, but this is the first class. I don't want to stretch much into this. All right. So next is Shraddha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Just a second. Let me turn the timer.
Yes.
You
Am I
ready?
audible?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
Yes. Hello, one and all present here. Myself, Shraddha Sarjarao Kamre. You can call me Shraddha by my first name. I am from Mumbai, more specifically from Navi Mumbai. Born and brought up in Navi Mumbai itself. I have completed my schooling from Vashi, from St. Mary's Multipurpose High School, and I have completed my Bachelor's of Pharmacy from NCRD, Sterling Institute of Pharmacy, which is also in Navi Mumbai in Nerul. My current pursuing course is Masters of Technology, and more specifically, Pharmaceutical Chemistry and Technology in Institute of Chemical Technology. My parents, my father is a is a retired officer from Air India, and my mother is a housewife. And my hobbies are just singing, and I like music. Now my current pursuing project which I'm undertaken is the synthesis, which is the synthesis of any drug, and more specifically I am concentrating on the synthesis of quinoline. I want to get a PhD or a PhD from abroad, and want to get settled in abroad, because I want to make a better life for my parents, so that I can make their wishes fulfilled, and so that I can make them better life, so that if whether even if they are born here in India, I my wish is that they should not die here in India. So that's all. That's all from my side.
Okay, good. That's 1 minute 48 seconds. So that's good. I think you spoke really fast. Otherwise, you spoke a lot actually. If you would have reduced the pace, it would have been more than 2 minutes, I suppose. So
Okay,
that's
ma'am.
good. The content was really good. Everything was there in place. There were again few grammatical mistakes, little bit of stuttering, that is okay. But then grammatical mistake, what was the grammatical mistake? Yeah, so it is like fulfilling is a way of doing something only. You're fulfilling something, you're fulfilling their wishes, you're fulfilling your dreams, you are doing that only. So you don't make fulfill, or you don't do fulfill. The fulfilling thing is actually doing. It's a verb in itself. So you
Okay, ma'am.
said
Okay.
that, yeah, I want
Yes,
to make,
getting it,
yeah,
ma'am.
got it. So keep a mark
Yes, ma'am.
on this. Few of these things we are into habit. The verbs that we use, we are into habit of doing that, because our nature is from our like mother tongue, translating from our mother tongue to English, this problem occurs. So keep this in mind. Since you committed to this mistake, I think this is something that you normally do. This is the flow that you normally follow. So make a mark of this, make a red box out of it, and say that make fulfill doesn't is not the right English. It should be a fulfill. Only fulfill is good enough. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But
Ma'am, my
make
content
proud
was
is
good.
right. Okay, making proud is proud. Being proud is a feeling. It's not a it's not a verb. Understood? You make someone proud, but you don't make someone fulfilled. Okay, so it's like
Yes, ma'am.
rather it will be like if fulfilling is a feeling, but you fulfill, that is like FULFILL, that's a verb in itself. You fulfilled something. But fulfilling, you'll see that it's sort of a feeling then. ING, that becomes a sort of a feeling then. All right.
Ma'am, my content was okay. It
Yeah,
was good.
perfect. Very good. It was perfectly okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah,
Hello,
I
ma'am.
told you you could have actually covered more than 2 minutes, but your pace was very fast, because of which it took you so much of less time. Okay, so next,
Hello, ma'am.
yeah,
Ma'am, I want to say something.
yeah.
Yeah, as Shraddha said, she mentioned in the last that although my parents were born in India, I
Hmm.
don't want them to die in India.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, will this sentence be it may cause some?
Uh, no, this sentence might be a problem if you are saying this in the visa, while the visa interview, because they then check that, okay, you are not being loyal to your country, etc., etc.
Yes, ma'am, that is
Many more
what I
questions
want to
will
say.
come, but the person during this interview, that is not going to harm you anyway, because they also know that they are trying to see the stretch. It's good if you can avoid it, But you could rather say that they are born here. I want them to at least before, at least see the
Ma'am,
other world also, other part of the
yes,
world also. A better way of saying that. But
yeah,
then
we
this
can
is not
say.
going to create any problem to you, because the connotation that you're having in this question, that doesn't occur in your IELTS test. This might occur in your visa interview. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, but then Shraddha, it's better that you try and avoid some kind of, I could understand this is the first time that you started speaking. So, these things came, you wanted to mean something else, but maybe you couldn't find the words. So better way of putting it, the more the better. Okay, so try and give it a good covering, give it a good cushion picture in
Okay, ma'am.
some
Okay.
better words. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next is Srinath.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Ready?
Yeah, ma'am.
Turn
Fine.
on the timer. Just a
Can I
second.
start?
Just a second. Let me turn on the timer. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, friends. My name is Srinath. I am presently doing MS, that is Masters in Chemistry Department from Naipur, Mohali. Coming to my introduction, I'm from the southern parts of India, which is mostly like Andhra Pradesh, where people used to speak Telugu, that is our native language. So coming to the southern parts of India, there is more regional feeling where we won't be considering any kind of other language like English or any kind of Hindi or English. So from the childhood, I am having more number of questions in my mind. So it's like whatever the thing I'll be starting, there will be a question like why I am doing this or what to do or how this is happening. So maybe because of that, there is some kind of research kind of mindset going on in my mind. So people used to say to me that I am a kind of motivational speaker or I am kind of research scientist. So maybe because of that, I am having interest in learning or knowing many things. That could be the reason for myself being in Naiper today. When I was doing my Naiper preparation or when I was going through my master's or PG preparation for GPAT and Naiper exams, so there was a board which is placed on my wall every day. I used to see that board, a white board, where I used to write every part of my day life or a kind of a dreaming projects or what I have to be tomorrow or the next day. So I have written on that I should be in Mohali because Mohali is a place or the Naiper college which was in the Mohali. It's a kind of place where all religious peoples or all kind of people will be there, where you can explore more things, where you can get attached to many kind of languages or many kind of traditions, or you can explore or you can know many kind of things. So maybe because of that writing and because of that hard work, I was here at present. So coming to my project works, I was presently doing work in anti-retroviral drug, which is antiviral drug. It is used for anti-HIV therapy. So presently, virus is getting more attack, and even in the statistics, HIV in India is in third or fourth place of HIV. So I wanted to synthesize a drug that could be useful to the mankind and moreover to the Indian society. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. That's really good, Srinath. It's more than, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It's more than that. So really good. And the content was really good. It was actually, it is about speaking about yourself, about your dreams, about what you had struggled, how you have struggled, what you have done. So this actually attracts the examiner also. He or she also gets interested in, okay, right, nice, okay, you did this, rather than only a very a traditional way of, yeah, I am this, I did this, I passed from this and that. So add some story. I was about to say this in the last part of, like, while I would have given the frame up how to actually give the perfect answer, but then you got a very good example from Trinath. This is a very good way of actually speaking, which I won't say the others, whatever you spoke was wrong or that was not nice. Those were nice, but that didn't have that, that X factor to it, that factor of the personal, the customization was missing there. This was like, it is only and only Trinath is speaking here. If you put this answer in place of Aarti or Pragati or Shraddha, it is not going to sound the same way. It is his own experience that he was speaking about. So this is what it should be. This is what, rather he spoke very fast, like Shraddha. So I think he at this speed also he spoke for 2 minutes 30 seconds. At a lower pace it would have gone more, almost 4 minutes. Okay, so this is really good. Something so I want all of you to again go back home and work on this answer again. I'll give you a framework of this, how to although Trinath has given a very good example, but still. So what am I looking at is, if I am so first objective out here is I need to speak for a minimum of 2 minutes. That's my objective. Now, if you can see the way Shraddha, the way Trinath had mentioned in their answers, that was that they were not only speaking about themselves, they kept everyone at their place, all around, their parents. Shraddha taken initiative to speak about their parents, how to not, how to pay a homage to whatever they have done for her in their entire life. Trinath, on the other hand, he spoke about his background. He spoke what he had, what were the struggles in their native place, and why he wanted to move ahead to a place where he could explore a little more. Then each one of you spoke about your project. That is perfectly all right. That was really good, because that is also something that also has an X factor, which the examiner would like. But then a little more personal experiences. So a little more customization. So, okay, your name is okay, a bit of your background is also okay, but not that only way. Okay, I passed from this school, I did my college here, this, that is okay, but try and give it a story. Okay, give it a story, like the way Trinath had spoken, that I always dreamt of moving to Mohali. I used to write like this. Something, there is, everybody has a story. It's not that you might say that, no ma'am, I didn't do this, so what would I write? It is not that. Maybe you did the exact thing what he did. Maybe you did something different. Okay, so that thing has to be there. But again, this is not mandatory. This is again not mandatory that you have to have, okay, you have to have some story, you did this, you did that. No, I'm not saying that. This helps in, improve the answer a little more, helps the examiner takes an interest in you. And the more you add a story, what happens? It gives a good picture. The more it gives a picture, you are marked as a better speaker. So maybe you get a 0.5 band higher. All right. So, and so this is the thing I want you. So if you're talking about your parents, like Shraddha, during her background introduction, she spoke about her parents. Then again, she made a connection that, yes, I want to go abroad because I want to explore this. I would also like to bring my parents because I want them to see the other side of the world also. They have struggled so much to bring me up. I want to pay a homage like this. So it is like connecting. You can speak about your friends while while talking about your I suppose moving abroad. You might say that actually moving abroad, this thought came to me from a cousin of mine or from a friend of mine. In front of me, he moved abroad, there he started doing a research work from where he was. So from him I got inspired. I started looking into more of the details, and because of which today I'm into this college. I purposely selected this college because since childhood I had this like Trina told, I had this knack of asking questions. So everybody used to call me that, yes, you have this researching mind. So that is a fun factor also you're adding to it. You know, that people used to make joke of you, this, that. So that's a fun factor also you're adding. You can add that also. So this is what I'm actually looking forward to. Again, this is not mandatory. First, now that you have just started speaking, I would request you to just have a habit of speaking fluently at a good pace for 2 minutes with the right pronunciation. This is the first requirement for now, at least for the first 2 or 3 classes of speaking. Then I would like you to explore on the content. I would like the cohesion factor coming a little more. But at this moment, don't try and do everything. At this moment, I would request you to just have that fluency, stop stuttering. Yes, that's the thing I wanted to say. But stuttering thing shouldn't be there. No stammering, no. If you think that you need time, like who was, I mean, if I think right now, I am not able to think who was actually stuttering. So I was like the thing I would like to mention, this was a really nice experience. And so these are the filler sentences I am saying. This is not what my actual content is, but I'm not able to think who was stuttering. So what I was like, you know, stuttering is not a very good practice. And I would also like to mention, like the person who mentioned, so these are the things I'm using as a filler rather than who was it, that this this is really will fetch you a lot of negative points. Okay, so this should be a practice whenever you're speaking to whoever you're speaking. Do not stutter. If you are saying something wrong also, very smoothly make that, tell me any sentence that you're saying, just twist that sentence very smoothly. You just twist that sentence and move on. I will give you a few of the list of words which you can use to, you know, connect two different sentences, completely different sentences, which if you're using a wrong word, you use the right word, but that smooth transition is required. Never come back to the, yes, this is another point. Do not, even if you have made a mistake, do not again come back and restart the sentence. Do not. All right, so okay, so these are the points. What I want you to do is, these are the topics that I have pointed out: work, study, art, culture. So what I wanted you to do is, not all of them. For your assignment, what you should be doing is about your study. I would like you to, first is introduction, that's a must. About your study, about your hobby, and okay, only these two. Art and culture requires a lot more, you know, a few more, that list of adjectives and all is required for that. So I'll provide you with that. But before that, what I want you is follow this part. And another thing, as I've told you, if it is finishing off, if you see your content is finishing, nothing more is there, try and connect. Suppose you were talking about Pragati was talking about her hobbies, like knitting, doll making, etc., etc. Then she thought she's having no more content. She can say that this doll making I learned from my grandmother. She was into this recycling of products into making dolls, and from her only she used to make all the decorative things in our home, starting from cushions to pillars to this. from her, I got this idea of how to recycle few products. And today I use those all scrap material, all worn off material, scrap material for making my dolls. And I wish to also open a outlet for this sometime later if I really do well in this. So this is how, you know, she didn't have much of content. After that, she thinks that she has spoken enough, but that is not, the examiner has not stopped her. So what she can do is right now connect it to something else. This doll is your hobby is over. Connect one of the hobby to somebody from whom you have got this inspiration from. Talk about that person, how he or she used to work with it. Then again, come back to your part. So that gives you some time, that buys you some time. You get a little more content that might not be exactly about you, but then as a person, you, that is about you. Okay, am I making sense in this? You might think, why talk about grandmother? But then that is, when you spoke about Rangoli, then you could have told about what are the art that you follow. I specifically use there are two methods of doing that. You can use paints, you can use powder colors. I specifically use the powder dust colors for this, because that gives it a much more a 3D effect to it. Anything like, you know, just try and stretch it until unless you're being asked to stop. What helps you in this is, it is like, you know, once you make, it might be sometimes you might thinking, what rubbish am I speaking? Why am I speaking so much? But then this will help you to, you know, whenever you are going for, you are actually moving abroad there, these things helps. You have to interact with different people, you have to know about them, know about the culture. And since you are the newcomer, people might not be showing that much interest in you to speak with. This is a human nature. You go, you see a new, you have a gang of friends and suddenly a newcomer comes in your class. So you are not always like, you know, oh, hi, hello. Even if you do that hi, hello, that stops there. You welcome that person and then that's okay, goodbye. But then it is a job of this newcomer to actually bind with everyone. That's the job of her or him, who is the newcomer. So that is what you are moving to their country. It is your job to mix with them, get to know about their culture. Maybe they won't be coming to you and speak. They'll come maybe for a welcome session, for a, you know, introductory session. But then it's your job to mix with them. So this will help you. This is why they are doing all the past sections that you're attending has a purpose, why you are scored on that. This is the purpose of the speaking section, so that when you're moving to their country, you are not a loner there. Even if you're an introvert, even if you're this, just for scoring on the speaking section, you know, work on this habit of speaking a lot more than you normally speak. And in effect, what helps is this will actually help you down the line when you actually move into their country. I am myself also, right now also, I'm myself a very introvert person. I don't speak, just like when I am with, you know, at a new place. But then this tests and all has helped me to, you know, break that ice within like that I had. So maybe I'm not extrovert still, but I know where I have to speak, where I have to get my work done, where I have to make my place. That place I'm going to speak. That at that moment, at that place, I'm an extrovert. Otherwise, as a person, I'm an introvert. So that is what they want, you know, so that in that low place, you don't become a loner. Because you're going there for research work, you'll be minimum there, you have to stay there for a minimum of 4 years. That's a long time. Clear? So try and have the, you know, practice on this. Speak, just continuously connect this, that makes no sense. Why I'm bringing this person? He or she doesn't even play a role. But then that is just to, you know, stretch your content. That's it. Is this clear to everyone? Can I expect some better answers next day?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Very good. So today I think we are already about time. I will just quickly, we'll move on to the takeaways for, again, we should be up to date. So takeaways, what are the takeaways of today's session?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please explain me about cohesion, because I'm late to the class in the start.
Okay, yeah, that is about, you know, how closeness you're maintaining with the content, whatever is the topic, how you are, you know, going, are you staying close to the content, or you're like, you know, going away from it. So I'll teach you, I have a separate, you'll see in the schedule, I have a separate session for cohesion. So I'll go in, I'll teach you that. But then for now, I told at the first that I am not stressing much more on that, because that will come with, because in the part 1 section, the speaking section has 3 parts to it. In part 1 section, still I am looking forward to question, because it is about you. But in the part 2 and the part 3 section, it is about social context, about what is going on around you. So you'll be asked an arbitrary topic to be spoken about. It can be politics, it can be nature, it can be anything. So at that time, what is required is, immediately you don't have content at hand. What you need is, you need to study a lot. So I'll give you a list of topics regularly, what you need to go back home, study, jot points, and come to me and speak with me. So that will come with time. That I cannot expect you to just come and speak about the India's political condition right now. I don't expect to get an answer directly. So that will come with time. So I told at the beginning that I'm not looking for cohesion right now, and I'll stress on, you'll see in the schedule, it is kept at a much more later session, because I know that will come only with extensive reading. So that is why I told each one of you, go back home and at least, other than my paragraphs, work on at least one article. So these articles are your raw material. That will, howsoever I tell you, speak like this, speak like that, if you do not have the raw material at hand, the raw data at hand, you can't speak. You can speak in the part 1 section, because it is all about you. You know, you have all the raw data about yourself, but you don't have the raw data about country's condition, the financial condition, the economic condition. For this, you need to do a little bit of reading. So that is why I have kept it in the later section. I'll come to it. I'll tell you what more should be added to it, how to not shift away from the topic. I'll teach you this. But then that's for the later session. But for part 1, that is obviously expected, because part 1 is all about you, your culture, your art, Indian, your hobbies, etc., etc. Anything that is related to you. All right. Yeah. So quickly takeaways so that we can end the session. Already I have told all the takeaways, like, you know, keep a 2-minute track minimum, then connect with different stories. Next, anything? Once you tell the takeaways, you'll have those things in your mind, you know, so you telling
Don't mumble.
actually help. Yeah.
Mumbling is not allowed.
Yeah, perfectly. No stuttering, stammering, nothing. So whatever it is, use fillers. Filler, not filler sentences, not filler words. All right. And what else?
Speed should be optimal.
Yeah, right. Pace, medium, because this will, on the other hand, help you to reach that 2-minute mark. I think that's an and minimum grammar that is required. So the topics that I gave you today as an assignment, you'll be writing those first, and then you'll come to me the next day. So once you're writing, You'll get to see, once you see a sentence, immediately you'll get a sense that there's something wrong in the sentence. In the grammar, there is something wrong. Okay, and Aarti, so that will be all of the takeaways. And Aarti Nahari, kindly remind me
Yes, ma'am.
tomorrow about that grammar,
Study material, ma'am.
study material that I'll be sending you. Just ping me in the morning once.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right, students, that will be all for today. Thank you. You may leave the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, when you will be sending that listening data, like yesterday you said you'll
That is on your G
be
drive.
sending.
Just check on your G drive because the material size I couldn't compress and reduce. So just check on your G drive. You should be having it. Hello.